And welcome back to CJLO. I am your host, Count Dracula. And with me is Christine O'Donnell. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning.
It is 10:17 this morning on CJLO 1690 AM. But my real name is Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm in Montreal. I'm not in Transylvania.
No.
I think we have a very special listener. My good friend, Katie. Everyone's a good friend to me. I'm just like, hey, you're my good friend. My other good friend, Katie, happens to be in Australia now. And she's listening to us live in Australia
awesome.
on
Hey,
iTunes.
Katie.
So,
Hi,
Katie, I'm waving to you and I'm saying hello or good day, mate. And this is Halloween, mate.
What is she doing in Australia?
Right now it's 1 a.m.
Okay.
in Australia. She's on exchange. She's a Concordia
cool.
student on exchange.
Well, hello, Katie.
Crikey.
Welcome.
Can you imagine Dracula with an Australian accent?
I think he's from there, isn't he?
Dracula?
No, I'm kidding.
What?
No, he's probably not from Australia.
He's clearly from Transylvania, Chris.
He's
Let's
probably
get
from
things
Transylvania.
straight. So we wanted to talk about Glee.
Yeah.
Because Glee had a Halloween episode that I was excited for and then not excited for many different reasons.
It was
But
disappointing.
you think it was disappointing?
I
Well,
think it
wait.
was
Before you say what you want to say, because I know you're going to rant against Glee, here is a bit of what Glee sounded like the other night. Oh, and here's Sweet Transvestite. So that's Mercedes from Glee, but she's also the sassy black character.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? Because at first in the show they got an Asian guy to do it, and he's not a good singer, but he said, I'm going to do it, and then he came back in the episode and said, I can't do it because my parents won't let me, it's too risque. And then this girl volunteered, and she's big and she's a woman.
Yeah.
What did you think of that portrayal?
I don't know. I mean, I've started just not watching Glee for the plot or story or for it to make sense.
Why do you need it to make sense, Chris?
Well, no, because like every time something happens, it gets like undone at the end, or like, you know what I mean? Like, with
I
this,
see.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they were
So
supposed
like if
to
you
put
spill
on.
milk and then they're like, oh, well, just clean it up.
Yeah,
What a terrible analogy.
No, I'll agree with you.
Okay.
But, okay. So they were gonna put on Rocky Horror Picture Show for the school, but then they decided that it's too risque for the kids to do or whatever. That it's not like a teens show, that like the teens on the show should not be doing it. But then, so they ended up performing all the songs on the show, but not performing them in front of everyone.
Which is so disappointing. How could you have a show? How could you perform Rocky Horror Picture Show and not do it in front of anyone, but do all the songs? That didn't make sense. How is that a conclusion for kids in high school?
Yeah.
Glee, you've disappointed me for more than one reason.
Exactly. I thought it was okay. I think that the songs just sounded too much like the actual Rocky Horror Picture Show. I did like what they did with the Sweet Transvestite. I thought it was like a very sassy black version,
Which is what we were just hearing.
Yeah, and I thought it was good. But I mean, Tim Curry is a great Frankenfurter,
and he didn't want to come on Glee, which is very interesting.
I didn't know that. Yeah, but it was really, really good. That part. I didn't like the reason they gave for why Mercedes wanted to be Frankenfurter. You know, she's like, well, you know, I really want to be a lead, and like I really want to have a lead role, and no one else will give it to me, so I'll do this one. She doesn't sound like that. She doesn't sound like that at all.
That's a very good impression, Chris. I don't know where you came up with that one.
I'm Justin Bieber today.
With his hoodie.
And Bieb hair.
How long did you put into that outfit? That's what I want to know.
I had to think about it yesterday.
You had to think about you had to think about which sweater it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
You should have seen me last year, because last year I dressed up as Russell Brand.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because people last year, I dressed up as Russell Brand last year, and people were confused as heck as
Did
who
you just
he
think
was.
you were a crazy person?
They think, oh, is Transylvania in Romania? Okay, well.
Okay. Yeah, Transylvania is in Romania. Apparently.
Well, then he is from Transylvania, and I was right. Katie, you should listen better to the show in Australia. It must be the iTunes connection. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But when I dressed up as Russell Brand, people did not know who I was. They were really confused as to who I could be.
Were you a good Russell Brand, though, or did they just not know who Russell Brand was?
Well, I think I started off as Russell. Well, I came in and I had like the wig on, and I had the heavy makeup on, and I came in and I had a bunch of rings on my hand, and I kind of like had a shirt really open, and I came in and people were like, "Who are you? Are you a hippie?" And I was like, "Give me sex and love, baby. It's just everything I want." And they're like, "Are you British for some reason?" I'm like, "Yes, where's Katy Perry? I want to touch her." It's like the worst Russell Brand impression ever. And he's like, "I'm a sex maniac. I used to be on drugs, but now I'm not." And then they're like, "So you're a hippie, but not a hippie anymore?" And I was like, No. I'm Russell Brand. And they're like, "Who's that?" But if you went as Russell Brand this year, people would totally know who you were.
Yeah. And you can go with Katy Perry, and that'll be like a good couple costume.
I think it's crazy that my friend's name was Katie, and we went together last year.
That's amazing.
And
did she go as Katy Perry?
She went as Catwoman. So
pretty close.
But you know what? When they started dating, she was really upset that they were talking. Like I think I was the one who mentioned it to her. I was like, Russell Brand, who's like her idol. Not idol, but maybe her sexual fascination. Maybe that's why I dressed up as him. She was obsessed with him, and when she found out that he was dating Katy Perry, she like spat on the ground and started cursing and ripping the walls apart.
That bad?
Practically.
Wow.
So she was really upset about it, and I think that he makes a really good Halloween costume. And I think if someone is dressing up for Halloween tonight, they should go as Russell Brand and Katy Perry.
That's a good couple's costume.
I think it is.
That's really good.
Better than although the one that they did on Regis and Kelly was Katy Perry and Elmo.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is a really, really good one. I didn't think of that because
that's interesting.
They had that whole scandal, which was what happened exactly.
Katy Perry was on the show
on Sesame Street.
Yeah, they recorded. They shot a segment with her, but then they're not going to air it. But it's been online, like everybody's seen it, where she's wearing like a low cut dress, and it's you kind of see a bit more of the neckline and chest area than you should, I think, for a kids show.